Hello, all you beautiful people. It's Lisa Jane here again from lisajanehealing.com and my Facebook page, Awakening Your Authenticity, the Light in You. This is one of a series of videos that I've decided to do weekly about a whole variety of topics. The first three were about finding your source code, and I was going to continue that series today. However, I was guided to talk about something else. This something else is showing up with a lot of my clients in my own life, and it is really a continuation of what I discussed in the first video, and that's around speaking your truth. But there's a broader picture that's happening in the world at the moment. You may have heard in the kind of spiritual circles and the light-dark circles and the ascension circles about the world of duality and segregation. And we are coming from a place where we've been living many, many centuries, hundreds of thousands of years, in a place of duality where there is light and dark, or so-called light and dark, when in actual fact the dark is really just an absence of the light. However, a lot of the spirituality circles talk about being one. I myself talk about that, and we really are. We are all one. We're from one source. We're all connected. So the whole concept of being segregated falls away when one looks at that belief. What's happening at the moment, though, in the world, and is being heightened and exacerbated at this point in time, probably as a lead up from the eclipses we've experienced, but also energetically where we are in the evolution of the planet and the evolution of us as humans, is that in order for that duality to shift, it actually becomes stronger. The duality and the separation seems to be so much stronger. This is coming up in a whole variety of ways, not least of which the recent, and I won't mention any names, but a recent Cape Town school is being brought to task, or this discussion around the fact that there was a certain disrespect, or what we can look at is a completely different set of truths. One person's truth was not the same as another person's truth. One person is strongly aligned to their belief, and another person strongly aligned to their belief. So what it creates is a series of duality, and the truths, because I've spoken about that in my first video, and that is, it is about waking up and speaking your truth. At the moment, it is becoming very, very clearly distinguished that the truths are very, very different. And this can actually be noticeable between your relationships, close relationships, families, spouses, partners, best friends, where actually you are finding that the two truths are so at odds with one another that it's almost like you're living in different worlds. And no amount of, discussing or chatting or trying to defend yourself is actually going to make any difference, because actually the duality is actually really, really strong at the moment in order for us to move to a place of oneness, right? The duality, the darkness, whatever you want to label it, is coming up, is being displayed because there is stronger light frequency on the planet. More people are waking up to their spiritual self. More people are waking up to the fact that they are much more than their mind, body, and spirit, and that we are all human. We need to move to a place of compassion, kindness, and all of those things. But the first step is actually being kind to yourself, being compassionate towards yourself, and actually really working towards what it is your truth. But know that the duality is at a strong point right now. So the best thing you can do is spend time on your own, spend time attuning to those things that are aligned to your authentic self. Even if you don't know what they are all now, you will have an idea of what activities, what thoughts, what behaviors bring you to a place of feeling alive, bring you to a place of actually feeling, okay, this is my vibration, right? And then there may be a whole lot that you're not sure of yet, and that's okay. You will also start to realize that you have buttons, as I call them, within your energy field that are being pressed right now by what people might be saying to you or how the environment is responding around you. Look at those. See if it is perhaps something you need to shift. Whether it's judgment, whether it's criticism, see if you are very judgmental of yourself. If you're judgmental of yourself, you're likely to be judgmental of other people, right? But it's in acknowledging that, it's on shining the light of awareness on that you are able to move past it. And I suppose I could speak for many, many minutes and hours on this topic, but I just wanted to raise it today because I've noticed it a lot in people in and around me and in clients, is that the duality is very strong at this point. So try not to be shaken by it. If someone is seeing you in a very, very different light to how you see yourself, stand back a bit, look at yourself, take the time to analyze where it is you need to move or change, or where it is that you are fully in your truth. And don't get sucked into defending yourself. And also don't get sucked into the idea that the kind of idea of defending yourself in the sense that what they are showing you is clearly not a representation of who you are. Yes, it's hurtful. Yes, it shakes your core. But you need to separate yourself from those labels and bring your focus into your heart center and continue to treat yourself with love and compassion and just continue to work and grow and progress. We are all one. And one day those truths will all dissipate, one would hope, so that we're actually living from one complete truth that is above all personalities, all egos, all belief systems, all cultures, all ethnicity. That is, we actually are all part of one human race. We have a frequency at that level that is similar, that of community, that of kindness, that of compassion, that of unconditional love. We are moving there, but it's taking time, right? So, spend some time this weekend again thinking about that. Try not to be shaken by the duality of things, which I think was highlighted by that great full moon lunar eclipse in the middle of the year. There was a choice made at that particular time. A lot of people were given the choice, do you want to stay in this lower vibration? Because if you do, you're probably going to be in there for the rest of your life. Hopefully not. Or there are going to be limited opportunities to move. But that created a very strong split at that point in time between those that are moving towards a higher vibration and those that are staying in the low. And it's not distinguishing. I don't want you to think one is better or not than the other. It's just that there was a separation. But the higher vibration is one where you're moving towards a place of self-love, self-care, compassion, kindness for others, looking at unity rather than segregation and duality. And yes, all coming from a place of one single human race. That rhymes. Anyway, I have to dash off. I have to go and get my kids from school. But I'm wishing you a wonderfully blessed rest of Friday, a beautiful weekend. Just a quick note in terms of some of the activities coming up. I have a silent walking meditation that I'm doing a week on Sunday on the 25th or 26th of November. It is a beautiful place just to connect with nature, especially if you're not comfortable with walking on your own or a small group. We do it in silence. We do it with the intention of sending love and energy to the earth and receiving back for ourselves. And then I also have more coherence courses coming up next year. I'm just finishing the one off now. I have a new thing that is my product, which is that, which I'll tell you more about, which is my week-to-week guidance cards that I've created that I'm very excited about. I don't know whether you can see them, but anyway, very excited about because it's been a project that has been close to my heart and it's taken a long time, only because of my lack of kind of commitment, but it was one that I wanted to get out of the way by the end of this year. So I'm going to be speaking more about that and my upcoming courses. And then, of course, anything you want to hear about, any topics, information, I will do my best to answer them in the same way that I give readings to people. With all of this information, I meditate beforehand. I channel what information I believe is appropriate and I pass that forward. So really, if there's anything you'd like me to think about, contemplate, meditate, I will do my very best to bring in the clearest, highest form of wisdom for your highest good and for the healing of yourselves, each other, and humanity. And of course, myself. Continually work in progress. Lots of love and blessings to you, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye.